A crazy day in the NFL. As you can tell by the title, the Bills have made 2 trades, and Ezekiel Elliott did get suspended. I was not going to make a video about Ezekiel Elliott's suspension, but I saw these 2 trades, and I figured I'd have to make a video, and I might as well throw Ezekiel Elliott's suspension in there, because that's exciting too. So we're going to be talking about Ezekiel Elliott first. Now, Ezekiel Elliott did get suspended 6 games by the NFL for domestic violence. I believe this has been investigated for over a year now, and I'm a little surprised. I thought they'd maybe suspend him for a little less, but I do think he definitely deserves to be suspended. What I'm reading on ESPN, suspension comes as a result of an investigation that started more than a year ago, after an ex-girlfriend accused Elliott of domestic violence in Columbus, Ohio, which I guess is true, and kids do not beat women. That's very bad. Elliott definitely deserves to be punished. The league kind of learned a little bit with Ray Rice because they only suspended him for, well, they didn't suspend him for 2 games. They're going to suspend him for life in a way. I don't care if this is a play now game. I don't care if it saves. I just wanted to save on camera. But anyway, the NFL did only suspend Ray Rice for 2 games initially, but then they suspended him indefinitely, and he has not played since. However, Ray Rice is trying to join in groups or whatever that prevent domestic violence, which he did hit his girlfriend or fiance or wife. I don't want to bring up the story. Is that going to keep coming up? Because it's obviously not a good story, and Ezekiel Elliott now suspended for 6 games. He definitely deserves to be punished. There's no reason to beat women, especially if you're a guy, and especially if you're as strong as Ezekiel Elliott, because Ezekiel Elliott is a professional football player. These football players are huge people. Very strong. Ezekiel Elliott, that's just wrong. You don't beat women, kids. If there's one thing you learn from this video, you do not beat women. What does this mean for the NFL? What does this mean for the Cowboys? What does this mean for the NFC East? Well, let's go the year before they had Elliott. Their starting running back was mainly Darren McFadden, who was good on the Raiders. Wasn't really as good. He ran for 1,000 yards. So it's not really just Elliott, it's the offensive line, which is just stacked. So whoever their running back is, they don't have Joseph Randle anymore. They cut him a while ago because he had some off-the-field issues too. So they do have Alfred Morris, who they signed not this past offseason, but the offseason before from Washington. Alfred Morris had a really good rookie year. It was RG3's rookie year as well. However, he hasn't been great, and now he's backing up Ezekiel Elliott. I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. I think he's still very talented. And I don't know how he just fell off. So now we have the Buffalo Bills. They've made 2 crazy trades. You don't see a lot of crazy trades in the NFL. The last one I can really think of that didn't really involve picks was Trent Richardson to the Colts for their first-round pick, which was a lose-lose because the Colts got Trent Richardson, who sucked, and the Browns drafted Johnny Manziel, who sucked. So that was a lose-lose. We've seen some crazy trades involving draft picks. Let's go to last year's NFL draft, where the Rams and Eagles both traded up to the top 2 spots to get Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. And Jared Goff has some good news, as he's going to be getting a lot of help today, as the Rams sent a 2018 second-round pick as well as E.J. Gaines to the Buffalo Bills for Sammy Watkins. Watkins, he's now in his 4th year. I still think he's very talented. However, he has had, shady. But he has had a lot of injury issues with his first 3 years of his career. I still think he's very talented. I think he's a top 15, 20 receiver without injuries for sure. He's shown a lot of promise his first 3 years. I guess the Bills are giving up on him, which I don't agree with. He is supposed to get a new contract soon, but I still wouldn't give up on him. For a second-round pick in E.J. Gaines, E.J. Gaines is a serviceable corner. I believe it was probably their 3rd or 4th best. And now with the Bills, he might be one of their better ones because they don't Stephon Gilmore. And we'll get to Ronald Darby in just a second. So, E.J. Gaines, he's solid, but he isn't great. They also got a pretty good second-round pick, which isn't bad. However, I don't think that's worth it for Sammy Watkins, one of the better receivers in the NFL. Jared Goff gets a lot of help. They did lose Kenny Britt in the offseason, so they did sign Robert Woods, though. Kenny Britt's a little bit better than Robert Woods, but actually, I don't know about a little better, but Robert Woods was actually on the Bills last year, so the Bills are losing 2 receivers. I mean, one they're getting something for, but Robert Woods, he was their second receiver, see right there. I wouldn't say he's that good, but he isn't awful by any means. And the Rams also have Brian Quick, Tavon Austin, who's a good receiver, running back hybrid. They do have Todd Gurley, though, And while he didn't have a great second year, obviously they don't want to give up on him after a great rookie year Todd Gurley had. Can Tyrod catch him? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. The Bills are definitely going for a full rebuild at this point. They traded Sammy, and I mean, what else do they have? They have Tyrod Taylor and Shady. Does this mean more moves for the Bills in the near future? Well, I mean, they actually made another one, which we'll get into in a minute. The second round pick is good, and I do expect that to be a very high second round pick, probably the third or fourth. However, I still think it's a good trade for the Rams. So basically, if you're trading around 35, 36, maybe 37 overall draft pick, as well as a serviceable cornerback in E.J. Gaines for a very talented receiver in Sammy Watkins, they could probably trade that for maybe like pick 30 or pick 29. So what would you rather, pick 29, I guess, or Sammy Watkins? I mean, a first-round pick obviously is very good. I would probably choose Sammy Watkins in that scenario because there's a good chance that player is going to be not as good as Sammy Watkins. However, a late first-round pick isn't bad by any means. If it was the NBA, and Sammy Watkins was one like as good as he is, obviously I'd choose Sammy Watkins because there's a much better chance that late first-rounders in the NFL are better than late first-rounders in the NBA, because most of the late first-rounders in the NBA aren't very good. I mean, there's Jimmy Butler, but not many by any means. And then the Bills have made another trade. They got E.J. Gaines, but they lost Ronald Darby in the second trade, which Ronald Darby's definitely better than E.J. Gaines. Ronald Darby, I think, is very underrated. He has definitely impressed me the past 2 years, the first 2 years of his career. Very young corner, probably 23, 24 years old, around that area. Especially his rookie season, he really impressed me. To the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2018 third-round pick. And Jordan Matthews. Now, there have been Jordan Matthews rumors for a while. Him and Nelson Aguilar battling for the slot in Eagles practice. Because they have Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith, who they both signed in the offseason. So the Eagles have some pretty good receiving depth. But is Nelson Aguilar really going to play the slot? Because Nelson Aguilar, I'm personally not high on. I don't think he's going to be anything special in the NFL. Unlike Ronald Darby, I really like Ronald Darby personally. Maybe I'm just being a little harsh to Aguilar, but I'm really not huge on Nelson Aguilar. So, however, the Eagles really need a corner. Who's their number one corner going to be? Jalen Mills? Jalen Mills I had as like a second-round talent in the 2016 draft, but he was taken in the 7th round by the Eagles, and I mean, he's not that good. He's pretty good. I mean, but he's getting a lot of playing time, clearly, but he's not that good. They really need a corner, and they're getting a corner in Ronald Darby, who definitely should be their number one corner because their corners suck. And as I said, I'm really high on Ronald Darby. I really like Ronald Darby, and I think he's better than anything they have at this point. The Bills, I think this is a better trade for the Bills, like better return than with the Rams trade. I know they're getting a worse pick, but they are getting Jordan Matthews, who's a somewhat good receiver. I think he's a little bit overrated. However, he's not awful by any means. He was the best receiver on the Eagles the past few seasons. And it was able to kind of be like that with the Bills. I mean, who do the Bills really have? So once again, Jordan Matthews. Sorry about that tech issue, but once again, I do see Jordan Matthews as their number one receiver because they don't really have much receiving depth. So the Bills did get worse short term as they downgraded a receiver, downgrading from Sammy Watkins to Jordan Matthews, and downgraded a corner from Ronald Darby to E.J. Gaines. However, they're getting a second-round pick, which should be a high second-round pick, as well as a third-round pick, which I think the Eagles are going to make the playoffs. I have them actually making it to the second round. I have them going 10-6, the wild card behind Dallas, which may change a little bit with Zeke. But I also actually have them beating Dallas in the first round of the playoffs because Dallas is not very good in the playoffs. That's the Dallas Cowboys for you. But they are also, as I said, getting 2 picks. So a middle-of-the-road third-round pick, as well as a high second-round pick, as well as their second-round pick. They still have their first... Oh, wait, no, they don't have their first... Oh, wait, no. And they have extra picks as well because they traded down from pick 10 to pick 27 with the Chiefs trade. The Chiefs got Mahomes. And the Bills actually did draft a corner in Tre'Davious White. But Ronald Darby was better than Tre'Davious White. And E.J. Gaines will probably be better than Tre'Davious White for this season. I like Tre'Davious White, but obviously he's not great this second. That's going to end the video. Tell me what you guys think of these trades, as well as the Ezekiel Elliott suspension in the comments below. If you're a Bills fan, if you're an Eagles fan, you're a Rams fan, do you like this trade? If you were a Bills, Rams, or Eagles fan, would you like these trades? I think the Rams and Eagles both got good deals. I think Jared Goff gets a lot of help with Sammy Watkins. I think the Eagles' defense gets a lot of help because their defense is solid. They have a solid secondary. They have two very good safeties, and Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod, but they have no corners. And for Bills, they get some picks. They get some two decently young players. I know Jordan Matthews is in like his 4th year, but I'm pretty sure EJ Gaines is pretty young as well. So that's the end of the video. Tell me what you think about the trades. Do you think Elliott deserved his suspension? And I gotta edit this video. I want to upload it as quick as possible, so peace out.